press those buttons, take the holding card off, press the transition button, and that should reveal my face and also Blood Bowl 2. Hello, welcome everyone to, I think it's match day 5, isn't it? We're recapping today.
Yeah, 5.
With Khornight, you'll hear shortly, and Dreamland, and just type in your details onto the stream display. So I'll also get rid of that text because we don't need that just yet, because that should look better.
Oh.
So hello Khornight, hello Dreamland, how are you both?
Hello.
Yeah, good. And yes, we have sound. I can hear us. So
That's good, and you're not egregiously loud either, I hope.
Like day to day? Yeah, probably.
And Dreamland, hello. Please be the voice of sanity in today's show.
Oh, I'm not going to be the voice of sanity, but I definitely have a slightly quieter voice. It's probably
Well, it's more
a little
refined,
bit
I'd
of
say,
a
if you don't mind me saying
balance.
so. It's a definite balance, I think. We've got. Yeah, so Khornight, I hear tell you're off onto some fancy show on Sunday, is this right?
Sorry, I was changing headphones pretty much from the point you said, so Khornight, and I just missed all that. What was
Brilliant. Okay, great.
that?
Professionalism. I said I thought you were on some sort of fancy show on Sunday, aren't you? Conversationally, which you've now ruined.
Yes, I am. I'm doing Purple Chest's One World, One Blood Bowl thing, which he does like on every fortnight on Sundays. So I don't know why. I don't know why he's picked me as the last episode was like Purple Goo, possibly one of the greatest Blood Bowl players around at all, and Gegster, who's like the captain of the England team, and then this week it's going to be me. Some third-rate, slightly loudmouth, typer in Discord and Twitch chats, as far as I'm
But
aware.
again, it's One World Blood Bowl, isn't it? So
Yeah, so it's kind of
sorts, haven't you?
cool. But I really like the idea that he's had, and just like he's been getting loads of people on and stuff. I do feel like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel compared to the other guests he's had, but for some reason he seems to like the idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't struggle. I've only seen a couple, but he does have like 6 guests on, doesn't he? So finding 6 new people each week, you are going to be quite quickly going through most well-known Blood Bowlers, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
So he started off with 6, but he's gone down to 3 now.
Ah, right. Okay.
Well, three in a bit. Yeah, 3 in a bit. So he has a fourth person who maybe is in the chat and then will come on towards the end. But yeah, basically he's halved the number of guests. I actually personally really liked. I liked it when it was 6, and I liked it when it was a bit chaotic, and you'd have like there were in the first 2 shows. He didn't press stop recording at the end of the show, so he like raided across. But my TV, when I'm watching a stream on my TV, doesn't follow raids. So I got to sit there and watch while he left the stream on, and everyone started chatting kind of a bit more normally. And that was my favourite bit, when people were like actually interrupting each other and talking over each other and arguing a bit more naturally and stuff. I thought that was really good.
What were they talking about?
Oh, just they're just kind of carrying on the conversation. He tries to keep it to an hour. He says
that's
because
hard.
well, yeah. So like, I guess that is a good reason to have only 3 and not 6 as well. Is just to like fit in what people really want to talk about. But you could see it ended up being like just sitting around and chatting like we kind of do sometimes, where we end up just rambling about
nonsense,
much like we are now.
Yeah, absolutely. Dreamland, can you wait until you're famous such that you're invited onto a show like this?
I mean, Ethelred's been invited. That's how famous he is.
Not officially.
Haven't you? Oh, okay.
Well, I'm waiting. Like, if we're at episode 7 now, I think 50, we start just getting down to the everyman of Blood Bowl.
Yeah,
and that's when it's my time to shine. It was interesting listening to Purple Goo last week. I'm actually playing him next week in White Isle League on Fumble, and just listening to the way he talks about it, just like it's like that Ralph Wiggins Simpsons meme of like I'm in danger. You just hear him talking about Blood Bowl, you just think like this guy knows more. He's forgotten more than I know about it, sort of thing.
God,
so
yeah.
it is interesting listening to people like that talking about it.
I played him at tabletop once, and and he's lovely. He's a lovely guy. He's great to talk to. He will wreck you. There is no. He's definitely like, you know, of all the players I've ever played, I'd say he's the best opponent I've ever faced.
God.
You know?
So he probably knows what he's doing and everything.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, just you know, he looked at my team, told me what was wrong with it, what I should have done better. You know, that kind of level of like, you know, total knowledge of everything. Basically, it was amazing.
Especially since like the game's probably going to be around 1300 TV. It's proper like his wheelhouse. It's what he plays almost all his games, that sort of thing. It's like, it's not even like we can just roll 8s and I can sort of come off on that front and just sort of like have a claw pom off Blood Bowl 2 style. It's very much like I'll have 5 skills. I'm playing pro elves in it, so they're just liable to just fall apart at any moment anyway. So, but that's what's fun. It's fun to play really good people and be bad and sort of see what they're doing and stuff like that.
Yeah, pick up tricks, absolutely. What race is he? Is he a specialist or does he generalise on everything?
I think he generalises quite a lot. I don't know what he's playing in. I think it might be lizards or something like that.
Okay, that's
which
good.
Would generally be an all right matchup for the elves if I've got that right. But yeah, it's just when it's that like it doesn't matter what he could take flings and I'd still think I was the dog in that game.
I mean, basically, you know, lizards are a pretty powerful team, except for the fact they're carrying on a strength 2, and elves are usually the teams that kind of can arguably get 2 dice on a strength 2 ball carrier the easiest. So that's the general logic behind it. But you know, facing someone like Purple Chest and Purple Goo and expecting to get many dice on the ball is another thing entirely, right?
So it wasn't lizards. I just looked. It's noble humans, which is completely different to lizards. So that advice goes out the window. But I played
That's good, because noble humans are shit.
but I played them once in 2020 rules, and the 8 wrestle/fend on the pitch at any time on the starting roster, it's just a nightmare to deal with, like in terms of planning out a turn, if that makes it, like just trying to sort of create space. There's so much control. So I haven't played them as elves yet, so I'm not sure how that works out, and I think it's too early to sort of, short of like Zon's dwarfs level of matchup, it's hard to tell sort of who's the favourite and stuff. But like I said, I don't think it matters. I could have every advantage and you could give me every team advantage and I'd say at best it'd be 50-50 if I had like 500 up with all the perfect skills and the perfect team counter. I'd then say, right, it's now a 50-50 shot if I've got anything.
Oh well,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck, Dreamland. When do you play?
Sometime next week. So it's in the Christmas week. So it's just trying to schedule it in with 3 days missing for everyone doing something actually fun. But
yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's have a look at 3C this week. So all the games have been played because I played mine last night. So we don't have the official betting up for it, but Khornight, I guess you can just keep track of what we're saying.
Yeah, with the usual
drawing
screenshots
or whatever. So yeah, I can't see any reason why we just don't go through these and then have a look. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you add on the betting points from before, by the way, from last week?
Did I add on the betting from before? Yeah, we did it. We did do it, didn't we? We did it on the show on Friday last week.
You did it during the 3C recap because I was watching.
Okay, we definitely did it. In between talking about fascism in 40k, we managed to find time to do that. All right, so the first game then was Broccoli's Pale Penguins versus Bambala Cha-Cha-Cha-Cha's Goth Gougers. And yeah, perhaps an unsurprising win for Broccoli in this one, but it looks like one of his blitzers... just MNGs, that's all right, that's fine, isn't it? No, it's not. What am I talking about? It's not Broccoli, is it? Pale Penguins. That is, of course, Ruzi's team. He's my this week's opponent. So that's quite good news if that blitzes out for next game. So yeah, so these are the High Elves versus the Orcs, as we've seen before. I have got the game up here. I'm just going to have a quick look at it. But I imagine 2-0 to the Elves, that's going to be a steal, isn't it? And then that's going to be a... keeping hold of the ball.
16.
Yeah. Well, I would guess. Did Rusi have a wizard? So was it a bolt, steal the ball, score on turn 8, and then score on your own drive.
Yeah,
and then...
I've just paused it on turn 1 there, and yeah, he's got a wizard and an Apo. So yeah, so I guess that's what happened again. Deep kick here. Yeah, it's collected. And then yeah, look, this is turn 5, and you can see the elves have got the ball already, and it's pretty safe there, isn't it? So yeah, I guess that's what happened. So yeah, I don't think that's that surprising, but betting wise, guys, what did people say for that one?
Well, Danton stuck his neck out and went for a draw, but everyone else went for Ruzi in this one. So
Okay.
not a massive surprise.
I was still hurting from him beating me very comfortably the week before, so I was never going to pick against him. I was still very much like that was. I was picking him regardless of what his team was, almost, because I just was willing it almost that someone else was doing it, because he struggled at the start of the season as well.
Yeah, but he's a great coach, isn't he, Ruzi?
Yeah.
It looks like that's starting to play out now.
Was his witch? Were his witches both niggled and armor bust before this game? Or
The
did they...
AV6 one was against me, and the other one was MNG for that game. So I don't know whether it picked up, whether it was just MNG and it had it previous to that,
Okay,
or whether it was in that game and that was its missing game. But the AV6 one was against me, played against me.
Right, and the other one's got a niggle now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
AV6 and niggle, not a great combination.
Uh,
Not a great combination.
Witches.
But oh no, the AV6 is just AV6. She hasn't got a niggle. It's the other one.
Yeah.
AV7 and niggle. That's what you meant to say, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, one of them's AV6, one of them's niggled. Is yeah. What I didn't.
What you didn't say clearly.
Didn't enunciate well enough. No.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, next one is Altdorf Academical versus the Silver Lords of Altmer. So this continues Ali's woes, I guess. He lost in the end 2-1. Let's have a quick look at the game. Dreamland. Were you about to say something?
No.
Oh.
No, I was going to say, did you give us our points? You did give us our points, right?
Yeah. I just did it. Yeah.
Wow, that was big. Didn't even notice.
Well, speedy.
Impressive.
So this is Silver Lords of Altmer. So that was 1-2. So again, I we haven't really got time, and I haven't looked at it in too much detail, but it looks like the.
I mean, Ali got a couple of level ups, so that's kind of nice. You've got his blitzer you've got a fresh blitzer a level, and a catcher a level. So he's still building his team, and I guess that's what you should be aiming for. When you're 0-4 and now 0-5 at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he scored here turn 4. Which it's hard to be harsh on Ali because he's had a rotten run, but maybe that's a bit too early to be scoring.
Isn't that Gimlick scoring?
That's Gimlick, sorry. Gimlick scoring. Yeah, well done, Dreamland. Good job you're on. So yeah, Gimlick's scoring turn 4 here, isn't he? So is that a bit early? I mean,
yes, it's a terrible idea. You shouldn't do it.
But I mean, but Ali's got turn 4 already though. He's got 1 sent off, 2 KO'd. So I don't know. Maybe that's even more reason to try and stall it out a bit longer.
Yeah, that's disrespect from Gimlick, if you ask me.
Especially in this position, it looks just from the screen that you've got open on the stream. That looks like you could get another turn out of that, especially as elves. You could screen that off for it. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying you could possibly get to 8 just because you've got a lot of elves the wrong side of the ball and only that channel down the top of the screen to get down. But it does look like you could have got to 5 or 6 and made it more difficult.
What did Gimlick take for inducements?
He's got a whiz.
He's got a wizard. Okay, so so that's less BM. Let's BM if he's got a wizard. So he scored early and then wizarded, or threatened the wizard. At least is not as bad. Sorry, I was unaware of the wizard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he
didn't use the wizard to score, did he? Like, cause it goes in the first half, but it's after he's already scored that he uses it.
I think he uses it just afterwards, doesn't he?
Yeah. So basically, he scored quick-ish, left himself enough time to turn over Ali and
score twice in the first half.
And score twice in the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fireballed. Look at that, and he got a casualty, badly hurt, and a movement. Yeah, but badly hurts. That's what you got. Which is rough.
3 removals.
It looks like it. You got fireball. So hang on. So BA Felton got cased, but it looks like Ali used his Apo on that. Because it comes up again minus MA, badly hurt. So I'm guessing he uses Apo there, but obviously badly hurt is back to the stands. Weird Pete Ashton got a 1, he got a 1, he got a 3, and he got a 2. So yeah, just 1 casualty out of that. But yeah,
It's the ball carrier though, isn't it? It's a firebolt.
Yeah, no, it's fireball. It's fireball here.
But it's a firebolt because it just takes the ball carrier out and leaves the corners.
Yeah, it leaves the corners. Absolutely. So it was kind of a waste. I mean, what's the turn there? Turn 6? I don't know if I would have fireballed there, to be honest.
I mean, it was clearly Gimlick's plan by scoring at that point, right?
Yeah, to use it first half as well and try and get another one.
And maybe also, kind of trying to, capitalise on Ali's tilting. So, like the fact he's kind of probably a bit done with this team means that if you go for something like that, it probably gives you an easier game overall.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Ali, the ball's loose towards the end of the half, but it looks like Ali scored. Okay, no, the Elves scored again. So they're 2-0
Elves quick scored in the second half.
Yeah, and then Ali just got one back towards the end. So yeah, there we go. So he scored scored turn 13, but could he have held on to that for a bit longer? I mean, he's 2-1 down,
he's
so
he's trying to score.
He's trying to down, so he's looks to score as quickly as possible. Yeah.
But yeah, he's got 4 in the Cas box there. So that's quite nice. But yeah, and then towards the end, yeah, he just kept it back.
Yeah. Turtled,
absolutely. All right, so unlucky Ali for that one, but yeah, well played by Gimlick again. Looks like you had good control over that game. Yeah, he's one to watch. I think that keeps him top of the league as well. But
it does, yeah.
We can check after these. Okay, so betting wise, Khornight, what do we?
Only one person bet on Gimlick to win. And that one person apparently said earlier that he got a clean sweep of this division, and that's Dreamland.
Well done, Dreamland.
Is
that right?
I did get I'm pretty sure. No spoilers for later, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that I got a clean sweep unless I've misjudged something. Yeah.
I mean, if people really want to go and have a look at your betting to try and work out who won, they could probably just as easily just look at who won.
Yeah, and in the time it took to do that as well, you could probably just watch us go through it. It's not like we're going to spend the next 20 minutes talking about it.
Well, more importantly, look who won the next game.
Not that you're smug about it, on the board.
Yeah, well done, an actual win.
An actual win. And I listened to you. It's in part due to you, Khornight, because I actually listened to what you were saying last time.
Was it take the hate and use?
Yeah. Where's my game? Here it is. So yeah, it was fine. What happened? Well, I stole the ball through some heroic leaping. I stole it here. I actually served the ball carrier, so he moved. At the end of this turn, this is the end state. So he's left the ball carrier there. I mean, to be honest, I think there was a there wasn't a failed block, but yeah, he left the ball carrier there. I'm trying to keep that highlighted, but it just doesn't like it for some reason. Okay, hang on. Next replay step. Oh. Anyway, you can see where the ball carrier is now, top right, just below the 6, right? But my leap is right there, so all I had to do was tag the other 2 players, then leap in and surf him, which is what I did. And then I stole the ball, which I've collected, although she did fluff the pickup, unfortunately. And in this turn as well, it's turn 7. What's the old thing? What's my nickname? Or I don't know if it still is on our Discord channel. Is it back to Ethelred now?
It is back to Ethelred, but yes, you used to be known as scoring threat because of your ability to
not have a scoring threat.
Turn 7 without a scoring threat.
So unfortunately, that's exactly what Galentio did in this turn. So I surfed the ball. It was a fairly fortunate bounce, although not brilliant. The witch picked it up. I used the re-roll on the pickup, but I thought, well, I've got to do something here. So I did go for the short pass, which is 2+2+, and then by the end of my turn 7, this is the end state. So he could and did dodge his catcher through, but all his catcher got was both down with no rerolls left, and my guy had blodge. So yeah, the only thing maybe I would have changed there is where the ball is. He could have been pushed against the sideline, which would have made things maybe a bit more tricky. I mean, I could have surfed the other guy off, but I don't know. Do you put it one square away from the sideline in order to get safe, or would you put in one square closer, so 3 squares away from the sideline, just to make sure the bounce doesn't go out? What would you say for that one, Dreamland? Come on, you go first.
If he's safe, then the ball can't go out, surely.
Well, he couldn't get safe, so he can always assume he can always be hit, right? So he runs there, but yeah.
Oh, so you're pretty much just removing the 2+. You're removing an extra GFI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it more important to remove the option to scatter the ball out?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
In return for a 2+, essentially.
Yes. I would rather them not have the chance to scatter, especially in the position where you've only got one
guy.
Real scoring threat. I would rather make sure that on a non-armor break, you're still going to have the opportunity to score.
I mean, and as you said, like the fact he didn't have a sgoring threat himself.
Yeah, makes it a bit less risky, doesn't it? But in a way.
But if the ball scattered all the way back and you didn't have, did you have people back to recover it? It's maybe it isn't. It's definitely a you balance it up depending on how many players you have forward, how many you have back, and what kind of So like there are times where I really want to be 2 squares away from the edge, and there are times where an extra GFI is more important.
It depends on what the player is as well. Like if it's a blodge sidestepper, then getting towards there's not so much of a problem. If it's a skillless lino, then maybe you want to maximise the chance of not getting hit. It just depends on what the player is.
Yeah, so, I mean, I should have said at the beginning, but Galentio picked an Apo, a babe and a wizard. If you remember, he had about 320.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would have gone for a Merc instead of the definitely instead of the Apo, possibly the babe as well. So I would have given him a skill, maybe tackle.
Was there any bank?
No, he had no bank. So
so I would have gone Wizard Eldril.
Yeah, he couldn't quite afford Eldril
right.
with it. And is there a case for using the wizard at this point? I mean, he can't score, but he stops me from scoring. Probably not, right? He shouldn't have used the wizard.
No, because like it might stop you from scoring, but not very likely. I mean, the wizard works, and you as long as you aren't armor broken, you're still a scoring threat, right?
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't have used the wizard.
No, I don't think I would have used the wizard then, because it's more valuable next turn. And then what you said to me after the last game was essentially like if you're leading, let them come to you, right? Let them roll the dice. So I thought a few times about making a run forward, but it would have been 2 pluses or 3 pluses, and he's got a wizard. So instead, what I tried to do is just screen the ball off as much as possible. And that more or less worked until I think this point here at the end of turn 13. So that guy does dodge free, and then he dodges. I'm pointing on the screen again with my finger, which you can't see, obviously. But he does run behind those 4 elves into a little space there, and you can see where the ball is on the left hand side now in my sort of wide zone. He wizards, and in fact I'll show you here. He wizards. Oh no, maybe it's not that. So maybe it's turn 14 that he wizards. Oops. Oh, okay. Maybe it's not showing the wizard. Maybe it's 15 even. Oh yeah. So yeah, he wizards turn 15, which again I think is pretty late to use it, and he wizards, so he hits those 3 players. So the ball is one off the end zone. You got 2 others there, and he hits diagonally right where the ball is. He wizards there, but he gets crap dice for the wizard. So I mean, it's a 4+, and I think maybe I would have. I don't like the fireball. I much prefer the 2+ to get the ball free rather than a fireball.
the 4+ is very variable, right? So
Yeah.
it's a lot of.
And he's only got 3 under the template, so that's not. I mean, the odds are that I'm going to be all right, aren't they?
I mean, the maths is that if you've got 2 or more, a fireball is better. But the reality is the variation is so great that you really want 4 or more. And even then, I'd rather be able to pick who I'm lightning bolting rather than having a bunch of coin flips, essentially.
Yeah, because I think if you go 2 up from the ball carrier and then right 1, if he hits him with the bolts, that leaves a gap which he can probably get the ball. With the way the rest of his players, yes, it's going to be GFIs to get there, and it might just be a 1 on the ball, but I think that's probably the better choice at this stage. Khornight,
What's the recovery there, though?
Well, that is the problem, isn't it? I mean, the recovery I guess he was hoping for there is just for all those 3 players to go down, then he runs someone in and then does a long pass to someone, right? I mean,
yeah, I think it probably is a case
too
of
late, I think, for this.
Yeah, it's too late, but it's just going, why not? I guess at this point, you just go like, well, why not? What else am I going to do? If you don't do it, what else are you going to do? You can get everyone back, but you're probably still going to have a very strong position in scoring range for your 16. I think it is a case of just, why not? What's to lose here?
Yeah.
Essentially, it's too late. It's one of those, it's a mistake that was made a turn or 2 earlier in where people are, that you can't really get much good going on against it.
Yeah, it's such a relief for you to be saying that about someone else. I've got to tell you. I mean, you can see. I mean, if you look just the other wide zone, you can see my witch there being gang fouled as well, which was the previous turn. So
yeah, I imagine the gang foul is a large part of the reason why he like. So did he? I assume he still had the bribe at this point, and I assume
he didn't. No, he didn't have a bribe. He had a babe and an Apo.
Oh yeah.
So I mean,
Okay.
I definitely. I think the Apo was a definite. I didn't. We spoke actually as we were playing, and I didn't say at the time, but I think the Apo is definitely a mistake. I can't see any reason why.
Well, proven by the fact that he still has 2, on turn 15. So he's not even like. I can sort of see it if you've only got 11, you might use it on a critical KO or something like that. I can sort of see. It's not what I would pick, but I can see a use. But the fact you're still holding on to both of them on 15 shows that either you weren't aggressive enough using them, or you never really needed them in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally really dislike the 2 defensive, choices of babes or appos. I think extra players often has a similar effect, but with more options. So it could be that nothing gets removed, and then you literally have no value out of them at all. You're kind of like you need bad things to happen before they get any value, and even then, an Apo is normally 50k and you're paying 100k for one. That already screams lack of value. Let alone you'd have to be.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dreamland. Yeah.
I was going to say also the sort of kicker to that is this team is sort of a temporary holding team because we had a dropout.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a little bit more of a throwaway, so you could afford to be a bit more aggressive. And I can understand Apo a little bit more if you're playing a kill team and you've got nothing to play for and you're just trying to sort of see the team through or something like that. But he started really well. Like he's sort of in the top half of the table.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
So it seems very defensive in the circumstances, not just in the context of the game and whatnot, but in the context of the overall league.
Maybe he did really well and then felt guilty being the stand-in team and wants to lose a football.
That's how you demerit Ethered's win, isn't it? You just go like,
absolutely.
That explains it, actually. Yeah, that's the only way this happened.
It's a pity win. Absolutely. Well, I nearly fucked it up as normal because this is the end state of his turn 16, right? So what I did, instead of even going for the score, because it would have involved passing over people, right, which I didn't want to do. Even though he hasn't got a scoring threat, but he's only 1 square short. Okay, so instead I retreated and then threw the ball into my opposite end zone, so you can see the ball there now on the left hand side, but it's on, so he can score still, right? So it takes a few dice, but yeah, basically he dodged a 3+ a player there, then he gets the first push in a minute, I think, But it doesn't. Yeah, he gets the push, but it's a POW. So that pushes again. It won't. I don't think it will stay if I move the mouse on there. But you see where the 1D 2D symbol is, and then the arrow. Yeah, one more push from there, and he's got a scoring threat. So he can collect that ball with the GFI because the witch didn't got a 1 on a jump up. So in a way, I could have given it away because I threw the ball into space thinking, oh yeah, it'd be fine, he can't get it there, but he fucking could, of course. So I didn't check that. That was a mistake. And then he's basically one push off.
Why did you throw the ball? Just because it was funny? Is that what this was?
Yeah, it was not because it was funny because I thought he can still tackle me where I am, but thinking about it, I thought, well, what if he does tackle me? He can't. If he tackles me and it gets the ball loose, who's going to score? No one can score. So yeah, I should have just held on to the ball really. So like I say, I nearly threw it away, and he did pick it up with a GFI, but he he got to it with a GFI, but he failed to pick up. Had no reroll. Would use his reroll earlier to try and get the guy in position. So that's how the game ended. So I was relieved because to throw it away again in turn 16 to turn a win into a draw, that's happened twice already this season. So I'm glad it didn't happen a third time. So yeah, so my lesson for that one is don't throw the ball into a space where the enemy can pick it up. You know?
Who could have thought?
Yeah, and also, don't assume that when someone's 1 square away, it means they can't be pushed into scoring range.
Who can score? It is this one of these guys. This movement 8 guy I think is a catcher. So when he pushes this player Kegel ball into this zone, just one push on that, and then he's in range. Oh, it's GFIs, but yeah, he could have run it in to this side and then picked up, and then it's probably a 3+2+ catch with a reroll on the catch. So yeah, that was the play, and he did spot it, and he's only been playing for a couple of months, so that was I was impressed that he spotted it as well, but wasn't to be that time.
Almost beaten by a new coach.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I've been beaten by new coaches. It's not, it's fine. Anyway, more importantly, betting or Dreamland or Khornight. Anything else to say about that game? I felt I was talking about mine for ages, but
no, I think that's enough.
My show in it. Betting. Well, obviously Dreamland and I got a point because Dreamland kept the faith, and I always bet on myself. Anyone else?
And I think that was maybe. Wait a second. I've moved away because I was having to do something. Give me a second. No, just you and Dreamland. That's it.
Okay. Great. Right then. So next game is Broccoli this time. The Goblins versus Engineering Class. So this is Broccoli versus the Chorfs. Yeah, and just the last thing on my game is I left my killer in base-to-base contact, so he's MNG now. No, he's minus. So he's Wood Elf. He's a Wood Elf now. Minus.
Was it an unnecessary basing by any chance?
Yeah. I could have dodged out quite easily. Yeah. And the best of all, Khornight, the blitz was my last action of the turn. So even if he'd failed to dodge back out, it wouldn't have really mattered. But yeah, I left him in base-to-base contact, and he got twatted, and then now he's armor 7, which is nice. Okay, Goblins versus Engineering Chaos was the next game. So this was a win in the end for Engineering Chaos. So the Horrible Chorfs won this time. Again, really quick look at the game. Transition that across. Engineered Chaos.
I mean, Chorfs always beat Goblins, right? It's just the rule.
Yeah, but it's High Elves, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I know. Joking.
Oh, okay. One of those. And a riot at the beginning as well. So, what insane stuff did... Oh, it looks like the casualties mounted up quite early. There's 2 KOs there. And yeah, by the end of the turn... yeah, we set up. So, yeah, that ball's going kind of nowhere, is it really? It's pretty caged. And I guess they just run it in towards the end there, at the end. But there's only... Well, he's 5 elves down at the end of turn 8. And then... Is that... quick snap. Okay. And then 1 turn, potentially.
Not with 6, surely.
Not with 6.
I mean, with a movement 9 with
Oh, so a movement 9. Okay.
movement 9, it's possible to get 2 pushes with 6, but it's pretty tough. And with quick snap, you only need 1 push, actually. So
Well, it looks like he didn't set up for it, which is a bit strange. That's
was the
wake up,
movement 9 actually off the pitch
set
already?
up,
Or
quick snap.
was it stand firm on the line? I'm just thinking, sure.
Oh yeah, the chorfs.
I don't think he got
That's
to a lot
one
of
stand firm.
No, he's got one.
Just one stand firm, which is that one on the bottom of the 3.
So it's definitely tough there to get it, but possible. I'm not sure what much else you're going to do with 6 there. You might be able to punch some chorfs.
Yeah, the movement 9's KO'd for that, so
Okay.
that's why
Okay,
it's
so yeah.
2 pushes. So yeah, I mean he's set up. That's quite a good anti-one turn defense, isn't it? Because he's got the 2 guard there, so you've got to come in here and then push. But yeah, anyway, it didn't happen, and then I'm guessing he scored fairly quickly.
One of those offences where sidestep would have made it a lot easier. So even without a quick snap, you can build a 1 turn with sidestep from that. Once you get the sidestep going, it's pretty effective. But yeah, he doesn't have any sidestep either. Well, not on a movement 8 player.
No, but he gets a 2 turn quite well. I'm just watching it through on the screen here, and his ball carrier there is more or less unassailable, isn't he? Really, I mean, he can get tagged once that one of the elves is knocked over, but he's certainly through. And then at the beginning of his turn 10, oops. Then yeah, he's away.
So scoring quick because he's run out of players, basically.
Yeah, and then I guess
This is the full 2-1 grind, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. And then Crow Dog picks it up, and then, I mean, again at turn 11 here at the beginning. I mean, it's perfectly caged. There's 1 dead elf, 1 badly hurt, but yeah, you're not getting in that cage, are you? Basically, and I'm sure Broccoli.
No, I imagine he just rumbles up the pitch in 7 turns and scores on 16.
Yeah, he's just moved to the other side there, so I don't think Broccoli even tried to go for it. Oh, a bit there, and he got a ball carrier next to it, but I imagine he's got.
Oh, he's still going for it.
He got players. He got players in there, didn't he? And then it's in scoring range here by the end of turn 14. Start of his 14. But yeah, just run out of players really, and not enough players to get a screen in front.
I don't know. He's only got those 2 players removed, right? So he's got 9. 9 elves is still a bit of a defense. All his KOs have come back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you can see that line of 3 at the back there, where they're not in front of the ball, to the side of it. So yeah.
I mean that's a hope that he's going to roll some dice and get the ball out.
Yeah,
there
and get it out,
away,
and then screen off again, isn't he? Yeah, absolutely. And he didn't have a wizard for this either. That's a cheeky 2 red.
I mean, the 2 KOs being out, I guess, was part of his reason for going for the quick score as much as being down players.
Yeah.
And they both came back, so and having 9 for that whole last drive, is should be enough.
Yeah, and then even trying a cheeky 5+ dodge here, look, which you can see when it catches up, which he made, of course.
5+ into a red dice.
Into 2 reds, yeah, and he did get a power but a push as well. So yeah, you can't say he didn't try and go for it, because he did, but in the end it was just a bit too strong.
A bit too chorfy.
I wonder if that guy blodge. Yeah, he's blodge as well. So you really, again, it's similar to our game Dreamland, isn't it? You're hoping for double pow on 2 red.
On the red dice,
which is unlikely, shall we say? So, but yeah,
and even if
it's on
there, it's still likely in 3 tackle zones on the scatter. Like best case scenario, you get it on 2 tackle zones on the good side of the ball, but you're still having to roll a 4 for recovery. Most likely, it's not great even if you get double powers.
But yeah, okay, cool. That's the end of that one. I don't think there's much more to be said about that one. So unlucky there, Broccoli. Okay, but betting wise,
I was the only one who went for the Goblins. You, Dreamland, Danton.
Oh, you've had a
all
really bad
went
week.
to Crow Dog. Yeah, in Blood Bowl 2, I've lost loads of games this week. It's been a nightmare.
Okay, did Gruff not bet on that one? No.
No gruff betting this week by the looks of it.
Okay. Okay. Because you still level with Danton and 14 Khornight, so it's not the end of the world. And then the last game of the season of the week. Sorry.
Dreamland score is going off the screen, so you might want to kind of shift it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I've only got one.
It's because your name's too long.
It's the same number of letters as yours, isn't it?
There we go.
Okay, it's
that's
the M. It's your M.
It's the M, isn't it? A mighty M. Yeah. So 2-1. Dreamland. Do you want to talk us through it? Did you claw any mummies in the end?
I did, but I got a KO early on, and then the claw was left exposed turn 6 and got instantly removed on a dodge blitz. But it was after there was like a scramble. He wizarded turn 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which led to a scramble, which led to me having to put the claw pommer as part of a recovery screen. And he got removed. So no, the claw didn't really do anything. I think the only Kaz I got was from a rando Nurgle warrior just punch. But yeah, the main thing from this game was, so I scored on 8 and 16, and both were very dice heavy. So I'd like to say that I played really well, but it was a dicing on the scoring play. So I think it was 4-3 to score on turn 8.
Yeah, looking at that now. Yeah, Jesus.
And then 4-3-3-3 to score on 16. The blodge step goals were just impossible to, like, when you've got no tackle.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing to sort of deal with it. Like, the one wrestler got isolated, which was my mistake there, but just got outplayed and then rolled some dice to score.
Well, it's an
Which
effective
I guess is the best way to play Blood Bowl. If it works,
yeah, absolutely.
If you just roll all the dice and it works, sometimes it I did feel a little bit guilty because it was in a blizzard the second half as well, so that's why there were so many 3s to score. But I did have dice on the ball on his drive, but again, hitting blodge step, just without the wrestler, it was always unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say, you did pretty well to score with just 2 turns left. I mean, 2 turning with Nurgle isn't, I'd say, the easiest thing.
I just rolled all the dice again. It wasn't amazing play. I just got everyone in scoring range and then just rolled all the dice. So I just threw all the pestigals up. There's no real opportunity because of the blizzard. I couldn't screen off the ball carrier in range either, because it would have involved making a bunch of 3s before getting the ball up.
Where did the ball land? Did it land out? Is that why you've got it?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, that's a bit lucky, isn't it? Not taking away anything Dreamland, but again, it's fortunate that you didn't have to pick up and then hand off or anything like that. Because
it's already enough dice.
You got the ball. You got the ball well down on your line already, ready to run in. So yeah, nice. Super Rotter still with us?
Yeah, didn't get its level though. It was going to make a pass for that 2 turn, and then the touchback robbed it of its much needed sure hands going into the run of elves. Although I'm not sure that many have strip. I think only one of them does. But yeah, I sort of felt this is the sort of game that you need to win if you're going to compete at the top. I think you need to win when you're getting lucky, sort of thing. Absolutely. You're showing it on the stream.
I'm showing the last move, which is great because there's a pick up in there as well, isn't there? Pick up and then a catch. Well, I guess that was just a handoff, so that's not that risky.
Yeah, but it was still a 3-2-3 there, and then 4-3-3-3. So we're getting into the single-digit % chances there, I think.
Yeah. But you had a re-roll.
So it might even be as high as 15% with a re-roll, but it was very it was just sort of at that point very much accepting the draw. And I was thinking he didn't have any dice to score. I had to roll 4-3 to score in the first half, so I was sort of like quite happy to get out of there with a draw.
Absolutely.
On balance, I was sort of like rolling the dice, going, "Oh, I don't really." I think it was on the a single level Pestigore as well, so I was like, well, I don't mind throwing the dice in case he dies. But if it had been a really good player, I'm not sure how much I would have wanted to risk it even. It
No,
was
I know
that
what you
low.
mean. You don't want to risk the death
Dying
from-
on a Blizzard GFI.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, overall, can't complain with. It came round and bit me in the arse when I let in a single-digit % thing in CCL later that evening against me for someone to draw the game. So it all goes both ways, and
It
you
does.
have to
Swings
just
and
appreciate it
roundabouts.
when it happens for you.
Absolutely. And then, yeah, I mean, you lost to Ruzi, didn't you, last week?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's swings and roundabouts, I guess. But
Yeah, but Ruzi just outplayed.
Oh, right.
Ruzi outplayed me, and
that wasn't dicing. It was just you were just outplayed.
Oh yeah, just completely out. Like his team was just a horrible matchup, and then he's a better coach as well. So then you sort of go like, well, as I was saying about the purple goo stuff at the start, where even if I've got everything going for me, I needed Rusi having a better
luck
team
as
and
well.
being a better coach is never going to go well a lot of the time. But this one was just, yeah, it wasn't that I didn't play badly. I just had to roll some critical dice, and it all worked.
It worked. Well, you know, you've got to be in a position to get those critical dice in the first place. So you know that's good.
And
Anyway,
the claw didn't die. Even getting pommed with a niggle, the claw didn't die. So you take that as well.
Yeah, that's always good. So, Khornight, betting. You're quiet. I guess you're working, but yeah.
Maybe.
Betting?
But yeah, I'm paying enough attention that I can do the betting, which was just you and Dreamland for this one.
Legend. Oh, so it's very close now at the top.
He says excitedly because he is now equal top.
So yeah, so 3 of us on 14, Dreamland on 12, Gruff on 11. Right, I think that was the last game, so let's have a quick look at the table, because it's starting to get a bit... It's like Christmas now, isn't it? This is the Christmas in the Premiership, where we are now, in terms of this table. So, leading the way, really, are these top 2 teams. So, it's Gimlick, Silverlords of Altmer, High Elf, and you, Dreamland, with the Gassy Gang, both with 4 wins. Gimlick's a point ahead of you, because he's got that 1 draw in there as well. Middle of the pack with 2 wins, Ruzi, Crow Dog, Sea Pervert, Galentio and Broccoli. And then bringing up the rear, me and Bamba La Cha Cha Cha. And sadly, stuck to the bottom of the table still is Ali with just 5 losses.
Just 5 losses.
Yes, that's rough. But again, to win, I mean, it's still probably down to 7th, I'd say, to win. We've got 4 games left, so a lot can change there. But certainly the strongest chance, I'd still say, is the top 2. As number 2, Dreamland, how do you feel?
I would put Gimlick strongly ahead in that, just knowing what I've got left to play and what my team is lacking. So I've got 3 high elf games in my last 4 weeks.
Right, yeah.
All of which loaded with dodge. I've got no tackle and only 1 wrestle. So if I can get out of that with... I've got the Chorfs as well, so if I can beat the Chorfs and get a couple draws, I can probably stay in the top few. But just those high elf matches, all the elves to run in, sort of thing. Like I've had my matchups where I think I'm either ahead or evens on, and those unless the wrestler is only a couple SPP away from getting tackle as well.
Right, so if he can get a lucky break in the next game, perhaps, then that'll put you.
If I can get a touchdown, I think it's 2 or 3. So it's either get a touchdown or in the next one, and then hope to get a sack opportunity in another couple. But yeah, having got to play Gimlick as well, still, and him being a very good coach, I would put him
good coach and
as
a good
strong favourite. Good team, good coach. I've got horrible matchups left. So, but yeah, apart from that, obviously Rusi in 3rd. I know how good he is. Can make a run, but I think Gimlick might be too far ahead already.
Yeah, I think someone of Gimlick's qualities isn't going to drop too many.
He's got to lose 2 games.
Now. He's got to lose 2 games, hasn't he? Pretty much. So. Okay.
So, if he, this isn't blowing my own horn and saying that's the sort of decider, but if he beats me being the only one that's that close now, I'm the only one that can sort of slow the progress.
He'll probably win, won't he? Absolutely.
I'd say he's most likely going to win from here. But it's Blood Bowl. He could lose the last 4 in horrible dicings and come mid-table.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going to finish bottom, so I'm quite happy about that. But again, there's still 4 games left for that to happen, so That'd be fine. Right, so match day 6. First teams are Altdorf Academical versus the Goth Gougers. So this is Ali versus Bambalacha. And in many ways, it's the classic, isn't it? Humans versus Orcs. How's Ali's team roster looking? Well, he's in at 1810 with just 70k bank. I mean, on paper it looks great, doesn't it? Really, I mean, there's no red crosses there. Everyone's up for this game. Looking pretty strong. Some well-developed blitzers. Orcs, they've got a level to come. They're at 1920 with 140 in the bank. So 1920 is an accurate one. So they've got I think these are fairly easy level ups to pick. So Black Orc level, he's got block and guard. It's the movement busted one. So yeah, Mighty Blow. And lineman with up strength.
I mean, like, so the movement bust. Wait. The movement bust makes me think it makes me think that stand firm would be a better choice, because like you don't want him to be pushed away from where the fight is. You don't want him to like when you get movement downs, stand firm is kind of a good response to that, I think, and it goes well with God. Yeah. And you don't really and you don't really want him to be getting loads of SPP, which with Mighty Blow you want him to be getting punched, getting in the way, standing in the fight. Yeah.
And this other Black Orc with a movement up, I guess we could say, 5439. What would you get him?
A bit more mobility. Say it's most likely a general, so it's probably just going to be I can't think of I think tackle just general it can have.
Yeah, tackle would be probably the best general. But then, Mr. Controversial, what do you say?
Yeah, probably tackle. I mean, like, he's already got 4 tackle, and he's like the lineman's. Would you go for something else just to be, different, or would you think? Yeah, that's a really interesting one, though, isn't it? That's a kind of harder question. You really want double. You really want it to be double.
Yeah.
I would have made the movement up lineman a ball carrier, and then had the 4th tackle here, because. That's what I would have done with the team with the movement up there.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Then I wouldn't have been making that decision. I wouldn't have taken the tackle before, so then it wouldn't have been a bad pick now. But ideally, you want a double for guard, don't you? More than anything. But
maybe fend. Like,
is it going to be getting hit that often?
Yeah, strength 4,
maybe strip.
Still only movement 5.
Yeah, I'm still trying to think. I'm trying to think of other alternatives.
That's what I mean.
I'm trying to run through the graphic for the general skills now, and there's not much else on there to pick, is there really? I mean, obviously you don't want dirty player on this guy.
I mean, it's his last chance to bin off Mr. Throw and just put sure hands on this and make it the strength 4 ball carrier.
But then,
it's the last chance to bin off Mr. Throw.
That's what we say. So I agree with you. I think Dreamland. Let's bin off the thrower, give this lineman sure hands, and then buy a goblin. There we go.
That's your answer to everything in the Orc world, isn't it?
Yeah, buy a goblin. You can't go wrong with buy a goblin. So Ali will have 110. Well, he'll have another 40 on that 1960. That would be so. He'll have enough for a wizard, I think, just about. Unless
I mean, literally exactly 150. Yeah.
Unless Bamba La Cha 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 listens to us and does some removals of his team. The classic. I mean, humans versus orcs. I mean, the orcs have got 1, 2, 3, 4 guard. Humans have got.
I mean, this actually looks like a very good human team now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, he's got 6 guard, and he's got a strength 4 as well. Although admittedly, it is on the thrower. So yeah, I'm gonna bet on Ali for this one. I think. He's got to win eventually, hasn't he? Is that good enough for you?
If he's going to win a game, I mean, this should be the game, right? Bambalacha is also down near the bottom of the table.
Down the bottom, yeah.
He's giving away a wizard.
Yeah, if it's going to happen, this is the week.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Having said that, I think this Orc team should beat up this human team if the coaches were the same. I don't know. It's like it depends. Like, I guess it depends. So that a kind of higher level play, I think the Orc teams win if they're safe.
Yeah,
they chase the ball up and they beat up the humans. if they're not that safe and they make mistakes, and the humans are the ones that can capitalise quite well on that.
But I mean, Bamba loves a base, so if he bases all Ali's players, I mean, he's only AG3 this time, so that could work as a tactic.
With 7 strength 4, it's not going to be easy to, even though he's got the 1 strength up and quite a bit of guard, it's going to be hard to move them around if they're positioned right. I'm still going Ali. I'm not going to change my mind, but I think there's potential to cause a lot of problems.
Bamba has suffered from not having a sweeper certainly in my game. So
you're both going for Ali, right?
Yeah. Are you going to go for Bamba?
I'm going to go for the draw. For
the draw, right? Fair enough. Unless you buy Bamba, unless you buy Goblin, in which case I'll bet on you. But yeah.
You need to be in chat and tell us now, quick, before he changes his mind.
Yeah. Okay. Next game is Pale Penguins versus Southwell S&M. So Pale Penguins are the other open brackets better, close brackets.
Coach better.
Delft team. So he's got the strength 6 witch, who's 2 AG5, the blitzer and the witch as well. The witch is coming on nicely. She's got a double win in terms of mighty blow, although that's the one that's niggled. The blitzers are okay. Not too amazing, apart from obviously the amazing one who's 8-3-5-8, and a lot of loners. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11. So 3 loners for this one, which will be another 6, 12, 18, 108. Yeah, 210. How much are my players? 70. Yeah, Jesus Christ. So another 210 on top of that. So that'd be 1,700 dead on. So he will get. Oh, I'll get 10. I think I'll get 10k because I think, although I'm missing my good blitzer, I've got enough in the bench to not be down players. So yeah, I mean that's a real shame that this guy is missing for this game, because I think I really could have done with him, because I don't have any other tackle. That's the thing that's staring at me straight away. Although technically a strength 4 which is kind of tackled as well in a way, but yeah.
Rusi does have 10k to spend, so he might buy another player just to spend that 10k.
Thing. So that could give me
Babe,
maybe.
No, because that would get rid of one of his loners.
Ah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah.
So what would that give me? Nothing.
It would be the same, yeah, because
right.
It would just be replacing loaner TV with rostered TV.
I got 120k, so I don't think I'm gonna spend before this game because there's no point. I think my squad's more or less big enough, really. Again, if one of the linemen dies, I might buy another runner. Don't know, or maybe a witch. Maybe another witch. I'm not sure. Was that Sai?
I wouldn't do anything for this game.
No, I'm not going to do anything for this game. I don't think.
But the lack of tackle, and especially since it's mighty blow tackle, and he's got 2 very nice targets for mighty blow tackle, lacking that, I felt lacking that against Rusi, and he just exploited it by he could be a lot more carefree with those players when they can't be hit very easily, and that's what happened with me. I just got overwhelmed and couldn't. You've got a bit more of an advantage on that in that you're elves and it's a lot easier to run away. You can't get bogged down as easily, but I really struggled not being able to clear any players.
Yeah,
and especially since a lot of them are sidestep as well.
Well,
I know then.
Well, no,
there's only one.
There's only one. but I mean, there's a lot of.
It felt like there was a lot that was sidestep.
There's a lot of bloods there. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one's missing. 6 because it's Rog. So yeah, I mean, 6 players with Rog. I mean, that just makes it harder for me. I've got to roll a lot of pals to get anywhere. So yeah, I'm not confident about this one, but I'm still going to obviously bet on myself to win because dice. But yeah, I'm guessing you two are going to go for Rusi for this one. I mean, I can't blame you for that.
Yeah. I think you'll just really struggle to get anything. I just couldn't get moving at all. It's so difficult against that team is so low and it's got it could fall apart at any moment. If the 2 witches die, he's back down to 1,200 almost instantly. But at the moment, it's just relentless. It feels like.
Yeah, strong team. Khornight,
and strong coach, basically.
Any pearls from you?
No, I think you've covered everything. There's not much else to say. You know, it's going to be a hard game with that tackle.
Yeah.
And he's a very good coach,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he will beat you anyway. So
Thanks. All right.
Sorry,
Go on,
am
Dreamland.
I allowed to jump ahead to my game? Just so
Yeah, for sure. Because
I've got to shoot off in 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so you got temporary high, which is Galencio's team. So he's got a level to come on the thrower. But yeah, otherwise it's unchanged. He's only got 20k in the bank. So yeah, that's how he looks. And you, Dreamland, again, not much has changed from your team from the last week either. So
0 levels.
0 levels, same amount of pests, no tackle.
No, 2 SPP. You can see there 2 SPP away from tackle. He's not got loads. This is the high elf team that I'm the least scared of the 3, just because it was built for this season. It's the one with the least dodge, which I just can't deal with. So there's still a few targets for me to hit. There's some work that can be done there. Still horrible. Still not what I want to play, just because he's going to get 300 probably. Unless I decide to buy a 15th, which is very unlikely. So it'll be 3 up. So it's going to be a wizard, and well, he had about that against you, didn't he?
Yeah,
somewhere in that region. So
320, I think he had. So
just going on the fact that if he bought a second Apo against you, against
he's
Nurgle,
definitely going to do that, isn't he? I would imagine.
Yeah, so I'd say...
so wait. So your bank is 200, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to keep that 200?
No, I'm going to go down because I want to. Well, I would. I don't know because I don't know whether he'd take Eldril. I would deny Eldril because he's only got 20k in the bank as well. So I would drop. I don't need the bench. There's nothing else I can really spend the money on, so I'd just drop it.
Just going to drop it.
And I wouldn't want to scum myself and give more because I think 300 would most likely just be Wizard Apo Babe or something like that, and I'd be much happier with that than Wizard Eldril or something to that effect. He has got 12, so if he really wanted to, he could drop it and then get Eldril, but that would be strange.
I don't think you'd do that.
No. Because the benefit is the extra bench.
Yeah. He
maybe a Merc or something like that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're that worried.
He's he's only been playing for like 6 months or something, so but I mean all the basics are there. Apart from obviously scoring threats and stuff that he needs to work on, but we've all been there. That's not really not really anything there. And I think he mains humans most of the time. He was saying, so elves are a new departure for him.
High elves, especially, are sort of being built this way. Are probably the ones that you have. They're probably the hardest to just take out the pack, and add a few skills, like the way that he's had to do for this. Like you'd rather have like a dancer or like a pro elf blitzer where you can just put one skill on and they're instantly useful. I mean, like, do you know what I mean? The high elves start with not
absolutely.
a lot.
Not a lot at all. I mean, I'm really surprised Dreamland he didn't just duplicate the pro elf team, because that was a crazy build, wasn't it? With the, if you remember, it had the
if it's just for fun,
if it's just for fun,
I assume he was given a set of rules, and those rules didn't include. Well, they included like 2. I bet you he was told you'd have 2 doubles and get a team for this TV, right? No stats, 2 doubles. So he wouldn't have been allowed to build the same pro elf team, because the pro elf team had not just the 2 dump offs, but a couple of other doubles as well.
Yeah. Well, that's fair enough as well. I mean, I don't know the rules for replacement teams, but yeah, that makes sense.
It's a lot of I think there's stuff that could be done with that inducements if he wanted to, but I think what I expect I'll see is Wizard, Apo Babe.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll go for.
So, but yeah, I'm probably going to just drop the 50 to go to a 300 difference, and then try and roll some 8s and go from there. That's sort of the main plan in these elf matchups.
Yeah, good luck
against
with that.
high elves as well. Just try and high roll them and play a numbers game, I guess.
But yeah, Dreamland for me, Khornight, I think, for that one. I guess you agree, and Dreamland's obviously going to bet for yourself, I think, in this.
Well, I didn't bet for myself the week I lost, actually, but so I seem to have a good read on it. But I'm going with myself again here. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you, Dreamland. If you've got a shoot.
Got got stuff to do. But yeah, thank you so much.
No, no problem. Good luck this week, and yeah,
And to you.
hopefully speak to you next time. Although I think I'm technically working next week, so I'll be able to do this if that makes sense. But yeah, all right. Take care,
Anyway,
Dreamland.
right.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, bye.
Cool. Bye.
Okay, so Khornight, we've got just a couple of games to go. So Silver Lords of Altmer versus Goblins. So this is a high elf off. So
Yeah.
Silver Lords of Altmer currently the division leaders. I mean, he is down 1, 2, 3 players this week. So he's down his AV7 thrower. I mean, is there a case that he should be sacked? Is that a niggle? No, just armor bust. That lineman has just got an MNG as well, I think. A movement bust, that's fine. And this guy is AG3, so he's got dodge, but he's your kicker. So do you keep him?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're fine, crappy linemen. I wouldn't keep the thrower. Like, throwers are kind of vanity projects at the best of times. AV7 is definitely not worth keeping. He's like, he's a lineman with a second job, right? So he's as far as I'm concerned, he's not got any exciting skills. Replace him now, quick, before he gets any more SPP.
Yeah, I mean, he's 110k of junk, really, isn't he?
Mm.
I mean, he's got sure hands, which is nice, but just give a catch to sure hands, isn't it, really?
And elves don't really need sure hands quite as much as the other teams anyway, so he can survive without it for the 6 games it takes to vanity pass 6 times,
Yeah, absolutely.
or less, possibly, probably three. Anyway, fire him. But yeah, they're linemen. Who cares? Yeah, that's what we keep them.
Okay, so but because of his bench, he's not players down, so he's still got 11.
Yeah,
so that TV is accurate. So he's versus the Pell. No, he's not. He's versus Goblins directly below. Broccoli's team 1660.
but they are missing a player.
They are missing a player, so there'll be one more, and he's got a niggled blitzer, but that's not. He's still armor 8, so that's not too bad at this stage.
And
Yeah.
Fend Blodgestep, although being all normals, is kind of the most survivey skills you can possibly get, right? So
yeah. But I mean, the definite leaders of the pack for Broccoli are the 2 AG5s.
He's finally got block on the Mighty Blow catcher.
Yeah.
Saints be praised. Can finally hit slightly more safely with him.
Yeah. Although I did hit him quite a lot with Mighty Blow tackle, and it didn't seem to do much. But
no.
Maybe he's got charmed life.
But tackle does nothing anyway, right?
No, that's true. So
he's immune to tackle.
He'll be how much is a high elf lino? Are they 70 as well?
17, yeah. All elves except pros are 70.
So he'll be 1730 versus 1640. Yeah, so Gimlick will have 90 to play with for that, which isn't really enough for much. He hasn't got much in the bank. So it's a straight elf off, really.
Well, it's an agi elf off against a
Killy.
A killy elf, right? So in this game, Gimlick's not it is not the elf team.
They're the bash team, aren't they?
Broccoli is the elf team, and Gimlick is a bash team. And because of that, I'd probably go for an extra bench for Gimlick, and that way you can maybe do some fouling as well as having some extra players to do some basing up with, and not worry quite as much about removals.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a lot of people's worst nightmare, isn't it? Really strong hitty elves, and they are quite strong hitty elves. So, yeah, I think Gimlick's going to win this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be interesting to see if the AV6 does survive this game. But I mean, he survived against the Chorfs, didn't he? So, but yeah, what do you think?
Yeah. It's a really hard one to call.
Hey Gruff, by the way.
Hey Gruff, how are you? You've been actually you've got 2 screens now, so you can actually see chat straight away. Because I'm sure you didn't have
2
any comments.
screens. Yeah, you have missed all the. We've spent a good an hour and 10 on my game.
20.
Hour and 20.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On your game line, of course. I think Broccoli. I think the elves should win in the elf off, right?
Yeah, I suppose it's the dicey removal thing, isn't it? If that doesn't happen, then he's got AG5 all over the place. So
Yeah.
And he does like to roll dice.
You missed out on some quality sarcasm from me there, Gruff.
Yeah. Anyway, the last one then is the aforementioned Chorf. So it's Engineering Chaos versus the Undead. Hit me with one more time. So I get sick of looking at this Chorf team, but that's because I'm racist. 12 players, 1690, 150k in the bank. Does he get extra hobgoblins? Doesn't he? Really?
Maybe in this game, this is that game where you do want a bit more of a bench. You're actually against a team with 3 Mighty Blow piling on and a dirty player, and the Undead have 12, and they're the lower TV team. And they're going to get a bribe, right? So you might as well spend that 40k on a 13th player.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Have the Chorfs got enough to beat the Undead? Where are they in the table? They're about the same, aren't they? Yeah, the Crow Dog's slightly ahead. Oh, this is a tough one. I think this might be my weekly draw prediction.
I mean, regen teams tend to fare better against teams that need to get removals, right? That's the hope, at least.
And they are down in TV as well, so they'll get the benefit.
But they're down in TV, which means they get to actually, foul things with dirty player pretty safely, right?
Yeah.
It is going to be a tough one for both teams. It could, a draw is probably a good call, actually. But I am going to go for. Oh, actually, wait a second. I'm going to go for the Chorfs, Crow Dog.
Okay.
More or less a random. I think.
Yeah, draw's likely, isn't it? But
I think all three possibilities are pretty close likelihoods.
Yeah.
I'm just trying not to choose the same thing as you.
Oh, that's fair enough. Keep it exciting.
I forgot. What did you do for the Silver Lords of Altmer against Goblins? You were also agreeing with me that Goblins are the more elfy. So, or did you actually...
I think Gimlick will win that one. I think I'm going to go side with the Bash over the Adge.
Okay, cool.
And
cool.
Once it's up, Dreamland can put it through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm playing. Playing quite early. So I think I'm playing Thursday against Ruzi in the daytime. So that should be good fun. I might stream it. But yeah, that's it. When you doing the champs?
Tomorrow? Are you going to join us tomorrow?
I've got a meeting tomorrow at lunchtime. But yeah, if you're up for it, then I'm sure Danton will join.
Yep. Sure. Me streaming again.
Well, you like it?
I don't mind it.
Okay, who's on?
I saw Eliod go on to do.
He's always on.
He's always on around. He goes live around the time that or after we go live.
Yeah.
So, are you doing him?
Yeah, I can do. Is he definitely on?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Artemis is, and Space is too.
Well, Eliod can have the treat of our mighty 2 viewers. One of which I think is probably you, and the other is Gruff. But there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck everyone in your matches this week. And yeah, hopefully see you this time next week for another recap. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.